Hello and welcome to the special edition of the Under Center podcast. Myself, Daragh and Jake here with you. We are reviewing the latest installment in the Madden series, Madden 23. A big shout out to everyone there at EA Sports for supplying us with a copy each for us to review it. We're not game reviewers, but hey, Jake, we'll give it a try.
I've played enough games in my life that I feel like I have a good handle on it. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, first official game review of at least the Under Center podcast.
Well, that's it. And I have played enough Maddens to know if they're going in the right direction and which one's a good year and which one's a bad year, which we'll get into in this video, of course, as well. Hey, you never know. If this does well, we might do some more video games. So, hell, we might let you have a crack at trying to rebuild the Giants, make them Super Bowl contenders.
I've already started the franchise in the new Madden. I've already got more wins than the last year of the Giants. So I'm basically a GM now and a head coach all rolled up in one.
Salary cap off, of course.
Well, is there any other way to play?
And then when this is taken from my time playing Football Manager. When a team doesn't accept your trade proposal, new user team to that team. Oh, I accept a very dodgy trade, and then I get the player that I want. But hey, look, that's our wrong ways of playing it. But we'll get into the review, and of course, this is a very heavily based year this year on John Madden himself. Of course, we lost John Madden earlier on this year, so this game was going to be an homage to his legacy. And of course, it started straight away when you get into the game with the John Madden Legacy game. Of kind of a game / a history lesson of John Madden in the league as well. You can see here on the screen as well with the NFC against the AFC with sort of players that he either coached or admired in the game as well. And, Jake, a very nice start to playing the game, especially, of course, the year that it is.
Yeah, absolutely. For the year that was in it, it was a good way to open up a new game. I hadn't played Madden in a while, so it was great to get back into it with such a kind of historic game. And playing with such great players is always fun.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Although he never obviously coached the likes of Brett Favre, he was an admirer. He's the NFC quarterback in this. Tom Brady's the AFC quarterback in this, and you have some sprinkle of new and old players. So like things you would like to see maybe in previous iterations of the game, like say like if we had Tom Brady throwing to, I think it was, who was it on the other team? I couldn't remember. Well, let's say Brett Favre even throwing to the likes of Jerry Rice and stuff like that, or to Cooper Kupp and seeing how that would work on the NFC side of things. Because I was playing on the NFC, and as you can see, I obviously must have had it on easy mode if I was able to get some sacks and get some decent throws.
You missed an open receiver on the left side, Daragh. I also played the NFC. Cooper Kupp was really heavily featured in my offense.
Oh, I think you're going to see here. This is Cooper Kupp getting my touchdown in this one now for sure as well.
Did you win your Madden game?
I did.
Your legacy game? I did not.
I did. But that's obviously not all about this game. We do have the return of franchise mode with some new tweaks into it as well, because now the free agency side of things is a lot more in depth. It's not what it was in previous years where you put in a bid for week to week and seeing if the player would, you'd hope you go to advanced week and hope that the player goes to you. There's reasons why a player would want to go to you or not go to you, whether you're a Super Bowl contender. City tax in your area is maybe not as high, or even if like he is from the area originally. So those things do come into play.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually made much use of the free agency. I started my franchise. Oh, look at Daniel Jones there. Yeah. I've started my franchise, so I haven't gotten too far into free agency, but certainly some cool features, something that to keep an eye out for, the free agency stuff.
Yeah, definitely sure. And that's the thing, they're developing the franchise mode every year to try and get it better, because like with last year they had the scouting system in various areas of the country to sort of improve your draft draft knowledge before you would draft players. They're trying to make, because obviously the draft is such a huge part of the game that they have to incorporate that in the game too. And like that, you've got to play. I'd love to hear your your point of view, because you have gotten the chance to play franchise mode more than I have in the last week or so, and I'd love to know how you feel of it as a whole.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I really like playing it. You know all the different. I love the coach suggestions because you get your 3 picks or something that are kind of most likely to win. You each week you pick your game plan. So if you're playing, say, the Titans, you pick the game plan against like the run game, obviously. And you're trying to, and if you pick plays, I see you just put in a nice little interception there. That's very cheeky of you. Yeah, you pick the plays that you've game planned for, and it works better for you. It's more in your favor. And then I don't know if you played much the momentum meter. I'm actually a big fan of. I just think it's kind of a cool little touch. If you're winning or if you do something cool, you get a few extra benefits. Like I don't know, one of them was today I was playing and they had on third down your play art for who's running what routes was all squiggly and all over the place. You didn't know who was running what, so kind of just gives you a little extra kind of benefit for playing well.
Yeah, and of course that was something they brought in last year as well with those momentum meters, and it is different for different stadiums and different teams, which is fantastic. Like with the 12s, I think, like you're saying, I think for their one is your meter is squiggly and that you can't see your receiver being
It was
properly.
The Seahawks I was playing today, actually. Yeah.
So that is definitely one thing as well, and like that the actual we should also say actually at this point that I played it on the PS5, you played it on the Xbox Series X, so it is the new gen sort of style, because there is a bit of a difference between the PS5 and Xbox Series X to the PS4s, the Xbox Ones, the PCs. They have probably a lower quality one as well, but it's one thing that I noticed. It is so smooth this year's game, and the defensive AI, I don't know about you, seems to have gotten very or not very, seems to have gotten smarter.
Yeah, I've thrown a few picks myself against the AI defense. I don't know if that's a Daniel Jones and me or a good defensive AI. So, no, it's certainly good. I like playing the defensive ends and stuff because I feel like I'm terrible at playing a defensive back in this game. So, I'm glad that the AI for the defense has picked it up a little bit for me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I've thrown more picks in the short time I played this game than I did all in last year. I felt like last year's game was a little more forgiving with you throwing into those tight windows. Like the defender may bat it down or you may just get the pass through. But this time, if you can, they are going to intercept that ball and you are going to be throwing your controller against the wall just for throwing such a stupid pick.
Another feature that was good there was I see you're using that new kind of precision passing. I can't get a handle of it because I don't know, I have fat thumbs or something that don't work for me when I throw the ball. But I do like the idea that you can now control the ball a little more and give your players kind of an extra bit of a run on or whatever.
Yes, definitely. I think that's one thing that, and you are given the choice in this game if you want to go with this new way of passing, where you probably see here where you have this little circle of where you can aim the ball into the sort of, if you are throwing in tight windows. And you can stick to the old style if you want to as well. It does, like I said, it does take a bit of time to get used to, especially because for me, I'm always a bullet pass thrower. I am always keeping my finger on the button, trying to throw it as hard as I can in there. But sometimes it doesn't work. You have to be a little finesse it just a little more now in this game, which I like. It does make you think. It makes you have a better control when throwing the football as well. You feel like what how you're actually aiming is actually going that way, which I like.
It requires like a higher skill level. Once you get used to it, then you're going to be playing better than people who aren't used to it, obviously, and just have much more control. That was a good jump
nice
there.
hurdle there, wasn't it?
Nice hurdle.
It's the only one I've ever been able to pull off. Either couldn't do it last year either, so I'm definitely putting it in the cut now for this. But yeah, that's a really good part. And look, not to throw people off who don't really play the game, that's saying this new password, because you can use the old way.
I turned it off. I like the old way.
You can turn it off if you prefer. If you are those casual gamers like myself that like to just pick it up every couple of days, play a couple of games, and put it back down, that's great too. We have the return of Ultimate Team again this year as well. Something that I played in my old FIFA days. I haven't really gotten the chance to sit down properly and play it in any of the Madden games. I'll see this year. I might try and put a little more time into it if I can. There's more
Played a couple at the
challenges.
start there for
Yeah,
the Ultimate Team there. Played a few of the challenges, just got the team going and stuff.
yeah.
It's a good way to get into it. A few extra little bits, something that you wouldn't usually find.
But one thing they have in this Ultimate Team that I've seen this year that I like and I'd love to see incorporated into a game mode itself is you have certain scenarios in games where you either have to convert a first down, score a touchdown, or prevent a touchdown, and you can get obviously new player cards and new prizes in Ultimate Team. I'd love to see that incorporated in a game mode itself. Like say if you follow uh, a legendary career. Because with like we'll get into face of the franchise in a minute, but with face of the franchise, you were able to control one player in one position. So if you're to go through some of the most famous players, even if you want to keep it a quarterback, Tom Brady's some of his like fantastic seasons and some of his like clutch plays in
Moments,
games.
yeah.
You go back and you play those sort of times. That would be something I'd love to see. But hey, look, EA, if you're watching this and you do that next year, just give me something cut. That's all I need. Like 12% credit. That's all I need. But like that, in face of the franchise, we are back again. This time, last year you went through your college season. You played a few college games before you were drafted. This time you are in the league from the very start too. So you don't go through the likes of college. You don't go, and I think that kind of more goes in line with the fact that EA are bringing out a college football game. I think it's next year, so they're obviously going to be focusing on it on that side more. But more positions available to play as well. It's not just quarterback, wide receiver. I think it was linebacker last year. You could play too. Now you can play as a cornerback too. Jake, obviously you being the running back of the team, you were able to play running back if you wanted to. Me being the defensive tackle of the team, I'm still waiting for that position to open up on face of the franchise. But I like that again. I don't know if you had any chance to play sort of face of the franchise or even just locked to the one position.
No, I haven't. Not in this game. I played it. I don't think it was last year. It might have been the year before. Where you played in the college game, and I think I picked quarterback and stuff. And then you go through the tests of like what a quarterback sees. Pick out this coverage, pick out that coverage. Obviously, I got them all wrong. So, like football knowledge could do a little bit more. But yeah, no, I liked it then, so I'd be interested to try it now. I just like going into franchise mode when I start any game, a Madden game, because I like to play as the Giants.
Yeah, and that's it. And we all have our teams like that. I'd start a season with the Seahawks. It's going to be weird having a Seahawks season now without Russell Wilson as my quarterback and trying to go with. In this, they picked Drew Lock. Obviously, Drew Lock is ahead of the depth chart rating wise in Madden than he is ahead of Geno Smith. So, which is interesting. But like that, there's not a ton of new features, but everything is a lot more polished. I felt this year.
Yeah.
It seems to be taking steps in the right direction, because there was a couple maybe of down years there when it came to the Madden series where it seems like it was just being phoned in. It seems like they're making a lot more effort when it comes to gameplay wise, graphics wise, and with some more game modes to be brought into it with the likes of, I think, what was it, the Yard and Superstar KO. They were in it last year. They're still in it this year, but maybe not as predominant as they were in previous years. You can still play it. I just don't think maybe they were as popular game modes as they were previously. But hey, look, I said, you get that, I know there's a different games company, I won't name them. They have a showcase mode for their games. But if you have something similar to that, you can call it whatever you want, Legends mode or something like that. But that's just me thinking out loud. But Jake, overall, how did you find Madden 23?
Yeah, I love it. I'm loving playing it. I think I always like more football content, so I love playing it. I think one of the best things that for me for Madden is that it's such a great game that you can pick up with a couple of mates, play. You can play on the same team, you can play against each other, and you can sit around having a couple of drinks, and it's an easy game to just sit around and play, and it's very enjoyable. I'm loving it.
That's it, and it still has that like classic, 2-player game mode where like that you have two controllers in the house. Look, listen, let's play a game of Madden. Let's see how things go, because I think that's something that we've lost. With the evolution of gaming is to more
Yeah,
online play, that you don't normally
still,
have two people in the house playing.
Yeah, local co-op, but you have one of the lads come down, have a couple of drinks and play Madden, and it's no pressure, no one's sweating over anything, you just play. It's an easy thing to have gone.
Yeah, no one can use the excuse of lag for not being able to,
Oh, it can still be used.
Even
My controller died.
The controller battery is terrible on this. What's it talking about? Well, yeah, look, guys, listen, we hope you enjoyed this version of a Madden review. It's probably not like all the other companies that you're going to see, but it's a little different from a gamer's point of view, thinking, look, some of us are casual, some of us play it more in depth, but it is a good game worth checking out, definitely worth going and buying. Or if you can't get out to buy it, stick close to the Under Center podcast on our socials, because we still have two, as we are recording this on Monday, and we still have 2 more game codes to give away. So stick to our social medias. That's at Under Center Pod on Twitter, at Under Center Pod on Instagram. You're here on our YouTube page watching this Under Center podcast. Subscribe to that too, to be in with a chance to win a Madden game code, so you can check it out for yourself and see what you think. Jake, as always, sir, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back, of course, with our regularly scheduled shows during the week. So until then, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
You know why Madden's so different this year? Field sim. It changes everything. So I can finally throw the rock.
Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible.
And put the ball where only I can catch it.
Thing they know.
Yo, Hit Boy, what you think?
I could make the biggest hit in the game, man.
You ain't lying, bro. We live?
Oh, we live.
We made it till you got dollars. Go out and shop for you.
Taylor?
Wait, just...
We're live?
Wait, what? Slice up the defense with Field Sense.
You can do that too.
We need some big plays, big hits right now.
Say less.
Game on the
Woo. Now that's a hit.
time we do deep.
Touche.
So, what can you change with Field Sense?
I don't judge, I sing. You staying down for the come up till I reign supreme.
Everything.
Let's get it. Yeah. Hit boy. We got another one. Ha. Man, y'all boys ain't ready for this, man.